Hey everyone, I'm Stephen Wright and welcome back. I am going to tell you something that most people in this industry don't want to hear. The person who knows the most about how a service department runs might be the least qualified person to audit one. Now, if that sounds counterintuitive, let me explain. When you have been inside the same operation for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you develop something very powerful: expertise, pattern recognition, the ability to walk a service drive and know in seconds whether the floor is moving. That is extremely valuable, and I'm not dismissing it. But that same expertise comes with a cost. You become blind to the friction, not because you are careless, but because you adapted to it. Your brain reclassified the broken thing as normal a long time ago. That sticky note on the monitor stopped being a red flag and became part of the desk. The secret spreadsheet that replaced the CRM stopped being a workaround and became the workflow. The phone that rang 6 times before someone picked it up stopped being a failure and became just how it's done around here. That is not a character flaw. It is a human reality. Expertise creates immunity to the very problems it was supposed to solve. If you recall, I talked about the jar in episode 2. You cannot read the label from inside the container. That's why. It's not that you are too close to the glass, it's that your brain stopped registering the glass as a wall. You adapted, you normalized, and now the friction is invisible to you. Not because it is hidden, but because your experience taught you to stop seeing it. That is exactly why my lack of an automotive service department background is not a liability. It is the instrument. I am going to walk into your operation with no history, no relationships, and no assumptions about how things are supposed to work. I am unaware of which workaround you are proud of. I do not know which process gap has been there since before the last 3 service managers. I just see what the system does and what it costs. Fresh eyes are not better than expert eyes. They just see different things. An expert sees whether the operation is running. Fresh eyes see what the running is costing you. That distance between the insider's view and the outsider's measurements is where the value lives. Not in my opinion, not in my judgment, in the gap between what you normalized and what the audit quantified. Every store I've observed had great people running hard inside a system they stopped questioning. Not because they didn't care, because they cared so much they adapted instead of complaining, and the adaptation became invisible. I'm Stephen Wright, the workforce architect. Fresh eyes find what expertise normalizes. That is not a tagline. It is the methodology.